this week's portion, we have Moses recounts the giving of the 10 Commandments, or basically the Ezra wrote the 10 sayings. And what's interesting in this, in Exodus, it says remember, Zahor. In Deuteronomy, it says Shamor, keep. You will remember, and they were spoken according to the Midrash and according to the Gemara. These were both said these two words were said at the same time. Something that would be impossible for humans to do. Now, what's important here is keep and remember that if you don't keep it, there's nothing to remember. If you don't remember, you won't remember to keep it. It is showing a double-edged thing. If you don't keep the commandments, there'll be nothing to remember. But if you don't remember the commandments, there'll be nothing to keep. According to the Midrash, the complaint that Korach had to Moses, he said, the reason we wear tzitzit is to remind us of heaven, because the tzitzit, of course, were the same color as the heavens. They're supposed to be blue. So why don't we, instead of having these fringes, which are really weird, have a picture of the sky? And that would eventually turn into a picture of a blue tie, a blue handkerchief, and eventually people would forget what this was all about. So this is God's way of saying, Moses' way of saying, you know what? You have to remember Shabbat. And if you don't keep Shabbat, you won't remember it. And therefore, and we all know, we've all seen, that there are people who are good people. They go to synagogue on Saturday, Friday night or Saturday, and then they go shopping or go to work or whatever. And that's the first generation. The next generation, they sort of go to synagogue, but there's a baseball game on, or they have to get some work done, they have to study for a test, whatever. And they don't keep Shabbat. And eventually, Shabbat becomes Saturday. It becomes Friday night and Saturday. It is no longer Shabbat. You no longer have that special day in the week set aside to remember that God created the world and that our job is to work 6 days and to glory in the seventh. That we keep that seventh day because of its holiness. We forget about the holiness. The day becomes regular, and it's no longer holy. Our job is to, like I always say, make the mundane holy. Make the seventh day holy by keeping the Shabbat with all its laws, but remembering why we keep it. Something to think about.